If you're trying to lose any amount of fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit because without it, you cannot lose fat. And most people think there is one magical number to losing fat. And that's why you look at multiple calorie calculators and nothing really seems to be working. They all give you different numbers. The reality is you need to pick one number, test it, and see how your body responds. And this is the exact process that I use to lose 70 pounds, and it's what I use for my clients to help them lose fat. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to find your starting point, how to make this into a range that actually works for your life, and then how to assess this over the next couple weeks to see if you should be changing things or leave it alone. But first, you need to understand what a calorie deficit really is. And I like to think about calorie deficits a lot like thinking about money because I think it makes a lot of sense. There's gonna be a period of your life, if you haven't already had this, where expenses are just going to be more than your income. So this bar is going to be a little higher. So let's say your expenses are $3,300. And let's say your income is $3,000 on the dot, okay? This money isn't going to just magically appear out of anywhere or out of nowhere. And although I wish it just magically did like winning the lottery, it's not going to. So where is this money going to come from? This money has to come from your savings, or it obviously come from like a loan of some sort. But you're going to be pulling this money out of your savings. And over time, if this money were to keep being pulled out of your savings, the savings account would get drained. To be honest with you, losing fat and being in a calorie deficit works the exact same way as money. You have a number where you burn X amount of calories every single day. And let's say that number is 2,600, okay? You burn 2,600 calories every single day. Now, if you were to eat under this number, okay, if you were to eat less than you burn on a daily basis, let's say you ate 2,100 calories, that would be a calorie deficit. So where would those calories come from? Those calories would actually come from fat off of your body. So if you were eating less than you burn on a daily basis, you are in what we call a calorie deficit. And your body needs calories from somewhere, so it starts to take it from your excess stored fat. And that is how you start losing fat over time. Now that you understand what a calorie deficit is, let's talk about how to actually find your calorie deficit. And this is the exact system I use with myself and with all my clients. So this is what I want you to do. This is my free calorie calculator that I have. If you want it, just click the link in the description. It also has a whole mini course attached to it. As you can see, once you calculate, I'm going to show you where that mini course is. And it teaches you exactly how to use it and how to continue to lose fat. Okay? Once again, I'll link that in the description. So all you're going to do is you're going to click male or female. I'm going to use myself as an example. I am 27 years old, so I'll put 27. I am 5'11 and 3/4. I tend to like to round up for 6 foot, but I'll just be honest in this video. And then I weigh 100 and about like 76 pounds. I'm losing weight currently right now, so excuse me, so it'll keep on dropping. Then it's gonna ask how active you are, all right? I'm pretty active. I'm going to put moderately active just to be on the safe side. Like if you're unsure exactly where you are, just play it conservative, okay? So I'll put moderately active because I have an active job and then I work out several times a week. And then you click calculate calories. So you're going to see 3 different numbers here. And you're going to see this button here that says watch the free video course, where I have a whole video course on how to actually use the calorie calculator and how to use it over time to lose fat, okay? So I have a whole free course for you there as well. So it's going to have a protein number. Just ignore that for right now, or just ignore that. And I've talked about it in several other videos about how using high protein is very effective for losing fat. But for this video, just ignore that. And then it's going to have a maintenance number. So this is how many calories, roughly what you burn on a daily basis. Okay. So if you were to eat 27, or if I were to eat 2,700 calories or 2,783 calories every single day, and I would basically not gain any weight at all. That'd be my maintenance. Now, these are estimates. I know this because I have a calorie calculator. This is just an algorithm, okay? These aren't perfect. This is why you need to pick one and run with it. So we'll just use this calorie calculator and run with it. Now, it's going to have a lose fat number. So mine here is 2,283, all right? For the purpose of this video, let's just say 2,200. So you'll notice on the math here, this number is literally just 500 less than the maintenance number. So now let's find a range that actually works for your life. Because when I am setting up this for my clients, I will adjust different things because I don't love just picking one number. So it's exactly what I want you to do. All right, so we're gonna use that 2200 number and I'm gonna show you how to create a range because I think one of the biggest mistakes when it comes to losing fat is people pick one number. And the reason I hate just one number is if you were to eat 2250 calories that day, you would get pissed off, you would feel like you failed, and you would spiral from this. So I like to find a range. So this is what I want you to do. You are going to add 150 and you're going to subtract 150 calories from this number. So what we are going to get when we do this is we are going to now get a range of 2050 to 2350 calories. This now gives me a range to work within. So the days that I'm less hungry, I'm gonna eat on the lower end of that range. And the days that I'm more hungry, I'm gonna eat on the higher end of that range. Like I said, I want you to pick a range. This is gonna be so much more sustainable for you. So if you had 1700 calories, you would plus 150 to that, and you would minus 150 from that, okay? And like I said, use some round number. I just think it's easier. So when you start tracking your calories, this makes it much, much easier. Now, from here, you have two things that I want you to make sure you do because this number is not always going to be perfect, okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is you are going to now take this number or this range and you are going to track your calories every single day. So I want you to make sure that you are eating within that range and you are going to track this. You can do it on the Notes app on your phone. You can do it writing it down if you really want to. I think the easiest way is just using an app. A good app is going to be Macros First or Chronometer. Those are both great apps to track your calories. The reason I like them is because they got a free barcode scanner and they're simple apps. Okay? And you're going to track every single thing that you eat over the next 7 to 14 days. 14 days is going to be much better because it's going to give you more data. It's going to give you a more accurate representation. I would say 14 days is going to be your best bet. Now, the second thing that I want you to make sure that you are doing is you are going to track your body weight every single day. Why? I'm going to show you here in a second. I want you to do this every single day because it's going to give you different numbers. You're going to have moments where the scale spikes up. And then you're going to have moments where the scale spikes down. And if you only track 2 weights out of those 14 days, what if it was a moment when the scale spiked up? And you may not have actually realized that your average was going down. So now that you have these 2 paths of what you're going to do over the next 14 days, we're going to say, this is all you're going to do. You're going to make sure you're doing this over the next 14 days and worry about nothing else, okay? After those 14 days now, you are going to assess this and see if you need to make any adjustments. See how your body is responding. So this is what I want you to do. So there are 3 possible things that are going to happen to your weight over the next 14 days. The very first thing that is going to happen is that the scale is going to go up. So let's say you're here and we do a couple 14 body measurements. Let's say it slowly starts to go up, okay? So that trend line is going up. When this happens, we need to make an adjustment, which we'll talk about here in a second. The second thing that's going to happen, also, make sure when you are tracking your weight, forgot to throw this in there, over those 14 days, I want you to make sure you're using some sort of app that is giving you a trend line to show you if you're actually going up or not. Because like I said, there's going to be fluctuations where the scale is going to look a lot like this. You're going to see it spike up randomly, and you're going to see it spike down randomly, and you just see all these little fluctuations along this. And that is why having that blue trend line is so incredibly important. Now, so the scale may go up. The scale might also stay roughly the same, okay? So it doesn't really move. If these 2 things are happening, most likely it is not your calorie number right now. Most likely you are approaching weight loss incorrectly and something you are doing wrong. There's something you're doing wrong along the way. Or it hasn't been 14 days and you're just being impatient. So do the 14 days. If something is going wrong, what I want you to do preemptively right now, click the link in the description. I have a whole free 7-day plan. I have the calorie calculator in that plan. I give you 7 action steps over the next 7 days to teach you how to lose fat so things don't go wrong. Okay, I also have free workouts in there as well. Now, let's say you're doing the right things and the scale's not doing this. Our last option that could be happening is the scale is trending down. Now, I want to be very clear. When the scale is trending down, over those 14 days, you will probably be losing 1 pound to 2 pounds of weight loss over those 14 days. That means you are on the right track, okay? That means you are doing every single thing right, because when the scale is going down about that amount of weight, that means you are in a 500 calorie deficit every single day. And that means you are losing 2 pounds of fat. The scale may even go a little faster than that in the beginning. And the reason why is you are losing water weight off your body. You're losing a volume of food within your stomach. And then you are also losing probably 1 pound or 2 of fat in the process. This is going to make sure every single time that this works. This system is how you start to lose fat and make sure your calorie deficit number is right, not trying 10 different calculators to see which one is going to be best. Because I promise you, most people will try one, procrastinate, and they think, oh, I don't know if this one's perfect. I'm going to go find a different perfect one. None of these are perfect. Like I told you, they are algorithms. The best thing that you need to do is test this. Track every single day with your weight. Track every single day with calories on that range that we found. And then now you are going to assess your progress. And if these two things are going wrong, you're probably approaching it incorrectly. And it's not necessarily probably the calculator. And if it is going down, then that means you're on the right track and you should stick to those calories for a good chunk of time. I don't want you to veer off of this unless maybe you see a plateau at some point. And this doesn't mean after 3 weeks you should change it. Stick to what you're doing for a good chunk of time, like I mean a few months. And then maybe if it's plateaued at some point, you will drop it another 100, 200 calories. Now, if you want to not only lose weight, but lose it for good, and hold the fat off forever, then I recommend that you watch this next video here.